From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced 2 new Senate appointments for Alberta, including a critic of the school pronoun policy. Trudeau says Governor-General Mary Simon has named corporate lawyer Daryl Fridhandler and educator Christopher Wells to fill vacancies in the Senate. Wells is a Canada Research Chair in the Public Understanding of Sexual and Gender Minority Youth and a champion for the 2S LGBTQI+ community. The Prime Minister's office says the new senators were recommended by an independent advisory board for Senate appointments. Abroad now, Israel says a vaccination campaign against polio in the Gaza Strip will start tomorrow and continue until September 9th. Israel has agreed to pauses in the war lasting 8 hours each day until then to vaccinate 640,000 Palestinian children. The World Health Organization says the vaccination effort will not be easy as Gaza's roads are largely destroyed, its hospitals are badly damaged, and its population is spread into isolated pockets. Gaza's health ministry announced a soft start to the vaccination campaign with a small number of children receiving doses in the southern city of Khan Yunis today. Correctional Services Canada says an inmate convicted of murder who escaped from a federal facility in Laval, Quebec on Friday evening is now back in custody.
The service issued a release this morning saying staff at the Laval Federal Training Center's Minimum Security Unit realized the 51-year-old inmate was unaccounted for during the count at 10:45 last night. Tamusi Angiu is serving an indeterminate sentence for second-degree murder, forcible confinement, use of a firearm, and sexual assault. The federal agency had also asked the public for information on his whereabouts. It says it will be investigating the circumstances that led to his escape. Lisa Laporte, The Canadian Press.
Stateside, a 6-year-old boy and his 16-year-old sister are among the victims of a fatal bus crash in Mississippi. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says 6 passengers were declared dead at the scene and another died in hospital after a commercial bus overturned overnight. The 2 young people were identified by their mother while authorities worked to identify the other victims. The National Transportation Safety Board says the single vehicle crash was caused by a tire failure. And Kids Help Phone says back to school is one of the busiest times of year, with counselors responding to many calls and texts about anxiety and stress.
Chief Youth Officer Eliza Simon says it's normal for children and teens to have worries at this time of year, but it's also important to watch for signs of more serious anxiety or depression, such as sleep disruptions or stomach aches. Simon says one of the best things parents can do is start conversations with their kids using questions that don't make assumptions. That means instead of asking kids and teens if they're excited about going back to school, ask them how they're feeling about school starting, and then really listen to the answer. Rob Westgate, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, Canada has scored 2 swimming medals today at the Paralympic Games in Paris. 20-year-old Nicholas Bennett from Parksville, BC, has claimed the first Paralympic medal of his career, winning silver in the men's 200-meter freestyle. Also, 25-year-old Tess Rutliff from Caledon, Ontario, was second in the women's 200-meter individual medley for the second medal of her career. In CFL action, the BC Lions meet the Ottawa Redblacks tonight. In the MLB, the Toronto Blue Jays continue their road series against the Minnesota Twins also tonight. And the wife of Johnny Gaudreau called her husband the absolute best dad in the world and thanked him for the best years of her life in 2 Instagram posts paying tribute to the NHL player who was killed when his bicycle was struck by a car on the eve of his sister's wedding with his brother. Known as Johnny Hockey, he played 8 seasons for the Calgary Flames, with fans creating a makeshift tribute at Scotiabank Saddledome. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.